As I mentioned in a previous spotlight, most of the book of Mosiah is a big Nephite side quest where a group of Nephites break away from society with their own agenda in the story, but it is not part of the main narrative. I can't help but feel like so many people in life are NPCs, which means non-player characters. I hate to say it, but so many Nephites behaved like non-player characters in a massive role-playing game. The term NPC is an internet meme that refers to people who do not think for themselves or do not make their own decisions, those who lack introspection or intrapersonal communication. I have also observed that there are so many people who really do not engage in critical thinking. They don't take time to ponder things deeply enough. The ancient Israelites never seemed to learn from their mistakes. Jesus Christ lamented at one point about the house of Israel, "How oft would I gather you, and you would not?" Another example of Nephites jumping right back into their previous predicament is when Alma and his people had escaped from King Noah's people after having been baptized in the waters of Mormon. And in Mosiah chapter 23, verse 2 through 7, we read, "And the Lord did strengthen them, that the people of King Noah could not overtake them to destroy them. And they fled 8 days' journey into the wilderness, and they came to a land, yea, even a very beautiful and pleasant land, a land of pure water. And they pitched their tents, and began to till the ground, and began to build buildings, yea, they were industrious, and did labor exceedingly. And the people were desirous that Alma should be their king, for he was beloved by the people. But he said unto them, Behold, it is not expedient that we should have a king, for thus saith the Lord, Ye shall not esteem one flesh above another, or one man shall not think himself above another. Therefore I say unto you, it is not expedient that ye should have a king." They had just finished escaping the oppression of a king, and here they were, ready to yoke themselves into bondage again. People, especially in religion, can develop such a blind devotion to someone, even if they are divinely inspired. But this is folly of the first order. The Jaredites learned the hard way that having a king almost always leads to captivity. This is partly why Mosiah decided to change the structure of society from a reign of kings to a reign of judges. In biblical times, the vassal king was directly responsible for the sins of the people, being their ruler and teacher. But with this new structure, the people would become accountable for their own sins and answer directly to God, rather than being answerable to the king, who in turn would be answerable to God, the King of Kings. Today, we have libraries filled with histories of failed civilizations, fictional works like 1984 by George Orwell, and the internet, along with AI, where we have access to information instantly. And we are falling into the self-same trap that previous civilizations fell into, only this time on a global scale. This is the result of people trusting too much in the arm of flesh, taking for granted that the leaders in which they place their trust have the best intentions. This too is folly of the first order. Anyway, Alma and his people, along with King Limhi and his people who had suffered greatly in captivity because they didn't learn their lesson, had all finally found each other and made it back to Zarahemla, where their entire side quest story was told to the people who rejoiced in their return, but lamented at so much suffering. Things returned to normal for the Nephites until Alma Jr. decided to fight against the church along with King Mosiah's 4 sons. Their minds were changed by an angel, and after a mighty change of heart, they not only sought to repair the damage they did, they decided to serve a 14-year mission to the heathen Lamanites in hopes to convert them to the Lord. Zarahemla was now ruled by judges, and Alma Jr. stepped down from being the first chief judge to begin preaching throughout the land. I have something special planned for the next dozen or so videos that revolve around Alma chapter 5. I really hope that you will join me.